I'm Ben Thomas. President Trump is offering assurances U.S. troops won't be sent to help defend Ukraine against Russia. Ed Donahue has the latest.
At the White House yesterday, the president left open the possibility of the U.S. joining a European-led effort to defend Ukraine.
We're going to help them out also. We'll be involved.
Today, the president said the U.S. would not be involved.
Well, you have my assurance, and I'm president, and I'm just trying to stop people from being killed.
On Fox News Channel's Fox and Friends, the president said he's hopeful a deal can be reached to end the war. But Ukraine's hopes of joining NATO and regaining the Crimean Peninsula from Russia are impossible.
It was just a no-no. It was something that was never going to happen. So they asked for it, and they shouldn't have asked for it because it was, very insulting thing. Now, they could have asked for many other things. But the other thing they wanted to do is getting Crimea back, and, that was given.
Crimea was seized by Russian forces in 2014. Ed Donahue, Washington.
A key mediator on Gaza is stressing the urgency of brokering a ceasefire after Hamas showed a positive response to the latest proposal. Israel has yet to weigh in. Its military is preparing an offensive on some of the territory's most populated areas. Nearly half of the deaths were in Gaza. Sources tell AP the Justice Department has opened an investigation into whether police officials in Washington, D.C. have falsified crime data. It comes amid an escalating showdown between the Trump administration and the city over control of the police department. The Trump administration is vying for a 10% stake in Intel. The talks come on the heels of a $2 billion investment in the Silicon Valley pioneer announced by Japanese technology giant SoftBank Group. And on Wall Street, the stock indexes mostly retreated from record highs. The S&P fell 0.6%, while the Nasdaq lost 1.5%. The Dow edged higher, gaining 10 points. This is AP News. Hurricane Aaron's drawing nearer to the east coast with tropical storm winds stretching 200 miles from its core. Julie Walker has a report.
Stirring up treacherous waves and heavy winds, forcing dozens of beach rescues and even closures ahead of a Thursday arrival forecast, says the National Hurricane Center's Richard Pash.
Even though the center of the hurricane will probably remain offshore, it will bring hazardous conditions to the coastline, especially of the North Carolina Outer Banks.
Pash says with Aaron, water is the big issue.
We could see 20-foot waves.
Some are evacuating, and others, like Tommy Hutcherson, who owns the grocery store on Ocracoke, staying put.
For the most part, most of the residents are still here, I believe, and most of the visitors are gone.
He says locals staying or stocking up.
Water, beer and wine, milk, all the essentials.
I'm Julie Walker.
The latest developments at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
As the day unfolds with laughter and cheer, Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the palm trees, we dance through the days. The rhythm and soul in so many ways. Together we rise through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sunshine in the morning light. Good vibes Raise your voices high. Let the music play on. Good morning, Marianas. We're where you belong.
Good morning, Marianas. It is Wednesday. It is hump day. We are midweek, and it is 7:41 in the morning. We are ready for you. Are you ready for us? Well, we hope so. I'll tell you what, that was a hell of a day yesterday. No doubt about it. We got started off on a wild and crazy note. Thank goodness we're not the ones out there trying to direct traffic and tell people where to go. 81 degrees outside today. You know, they said that today might not be beautiful outside. They were saying partly sunny skies, isolated showers. It looks awesome outside. It's like a perfect day, picture perfect Saipan day, and we're going to take that all day. Take it to the bank, baby. That's right. Normally, we'll give you a little bit more of a weather update, but we got Landon Aylett from National Weather Service coming up in just a minute. But before we get to him, want to give you guys your first look at traffic that's going around the islands right now. And today, remember, school buses are back in effect. They started yesterday. Public schools are back in. And right now in Saipan, it's pretty good at 7:42 in the morning over here. A little bit of backups that you can see right now over there in the south side. Folks over there getting around the back island road, trying to get through San Vicente. Oh, it looks busy over there? Yeah, let's zoom in. Take a look at that. Over there by Shell Dandan, you can see there's a little bit of a backup. People trying to get up the hill and down the hill. And, of course, right now out in front of the home of the Canaries, it's backed up as they're trying to get those littlest kids off to the precious, precious first start of school for them. I know it's day 2 for them. Maybe all those tears yesterday are going to be going away. And they're going to be happy being out there with their classmates again over there in San Vicente. As you make your way around Issa Drive, it's actually looking pretty good all over the place. Everywhere else is pretty good, even the Rodeo Drive area of Saipan. That's right, the number one shopping district of the Marianas. You've got New Sarah Market, Zenyu Market, and Capitol Hill Market all together right there. The Marienda of the Marianas all right there. Down at the bottom, though, of Issa Drive, when it meets Middle Road, it's a little bit slow making your way through Puerto Rico. Boricua! It's a little bit slow over there. No, it's not that one. Don't worry. And it's not because of the ships. It's not because the Shoop is in town. Definitely not. Those guys are probably waking up from having a great couple of days off. They're going to be a big welcome reception for them tonight at the VFW. But I digress. Hey, look at on either side of Quartermaster Drive, it is a little bit slow. If you're wondering what's going on, it's probably a bus. Don't worry about it. Remember, when they are flashing red, you stop to make sure that those kids can get on and off the bus safely and cross the road. You never know when they're going to pop out. Don't worry if you're late for school. You do not want that on your resume, that you blew through a bus when it was loading kids. Don't be that guy, dude. Don't be that guy. It's also a little bit slower over where the intersection that matters, where connections matter, over at IT&E. Don't worry, though. Their internet is still blazing fast. All the way down Beach Road's looking pretty good because the high school doesn't start till 9 o'clock. So you got that going for you, which is pretty nice. If you want to know where you could go, though, to hop on the bus, all you have to do is go on transitcnmi.gov. You don't have to worry about traffic anymore. You hop on the blue line. All you got to do is pay $2, and it'll take you anywhere you want to go on the fixed route for sure. And if you're a student, a veteran, active duty military, Manamco, or an individual with disabilities, you only got to pay half. How about that? Pretty nice, baby. The operation hours, Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And on the weekends and holidays, they let the drivers get out, have a little extra time with their family by letting them out at 8 o'clock. You got to pay an exact change, so don't mess around. Don't go in there dropping Benjamins unless you're going to be paying for a whole lot of passengers that day, because exact change only. They got a couple buses driving around right now. You can see where they are on their website. You'll always know where the buses are, so you know how long you're going to be waiting. And they'll tell you even what direction they're heading to. Cannot beat it. And with those convenience stops all over the place, they're going to help you get to work. They'll help you get to school. They'll help you get to where you want to go. And when you're on that bus,
You don't even have to pay for the aircon. It's free. You're not paying for the gas. It's free. You know what? You're not even paying for the Wi-Fi. You can sit there and cram your homework, study for that last test, or do that big project that your boss has been breathing down your neck about. You don't have to worry about it. You just sit there in those nice, comfortable, air-conditioned seats and let Transit CNMI do all the work for you. Transit CNMI, taking care of our hometown. And I'll tell you what, they are the place you want to go. And they're, at least they might not be where you want to go, but they're definitely where you or how you want to get there. All right, we are going to be switching gears here. We're going to be talking weather here with our good friend from the National Weather Service, Landon Aylett. We are calling him right now. Oh my goodness, he's doing gymnastics with his phone, and he's out there for us. Landon, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing? I'm doing well over here.
Well, I've got it made, man. I get to talk to this guy who knows everything about weather and building stuff and giving back to his community, feeding kids, and inspiring people all around the world. I just got to sit here and soak it all in.
Yeah, I was going to sit there and soak it in with you last week, but your timing was a little bit off, and my timing was a little bit off because I was on a 48-hour trip up to Saipan, so it was a very good trip, but way too short.
You know, I thought I saw the National Weather Service weather balloon parachute coming down. I wasn't sure that was you attached to it. But yeah, you got in here pretty quick, and I was surprised. I didn't know that's what your plan was. But I'll tell you what, if you would have came in, okay, so imagine, here's what you don't know, unless you're following all the news here. So there was a big arrest that happened, and some folks who were brought in under a federal indictment. And they work in this building. And so that day, when I had to close the show early to go to the pre-arrival for the USS Shoup that came in, that's when it happened. If we didn't have that pre-arrival meeting, we would have been in here talking back and forth and hearing, you know, boom, 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 boom. FBI, open up! Oh my God, what's going on? Breaking news.
Of the day.
That would have been it. That could have been us. We could have been there taking selfies while they got their weapons drawn, going through. Dude.
Oh, my gosh. So much excitement up there.
Saipan is a special place, Landon. I know you know this, but I didn't know if you knew that part about how awesome it is over here.
Yeah, definitely a special place. And as always, I enjoyed my visit up there. It was just way too short, but got a lot of stuff done, a lot of discussions had, and a lot of things to continue on into next year, and hopefully I'll get up there a little bit more frequently next year as the federal government is a little bit more stable and other things in the region.
It's the stablest. It's the stablest. They say, I'm not saying it. Everybody else is saying it. They're saying it's the most stable. Some of the finest people, beautiful people, weather people.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
absolutely.
Landon, what do we got coming our way? I'll tell you what, the forecast, we were looking at it. It was making it look like today was not going to be great, but it's gorgeous outside.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. And looking at the Doppler weather radar, there's nothing much to see except for my reflection on the screen over there. It's pretty quiet out there this morning. Just some spotty showers. We had quite a bit of heavy showers pass over Guam and maybe close to Rota late yesterday evening and overnight, and then it all quieted down. I'm going to switch over to the satellite picture, showing what the big picture is. There we go with Guam and the CNMI right there. We got a little bit of a disturbance pushing at a surface trough, bringing some clouds over there, but nothing much to speak of. It's just a typical trade wind pattern out there. The winds that were dead last week, we had a lot of calm winds, light and variable winds last week. Now we have more of a trade wind pattern, so about 10 to 15 mile per hour northeast to east trades. That'll be the theme for the next several days. So the potential for any shower and thunderstorm development overhead of the islands, that looks slim to none, at least for the next several days. But elsewhere across the region, we did have that invest area 90W past south of Guam. And where is it right now? It's definitely not over here south of Guam. This little cluster of showers and thunderstorms northwest of Yap and Palau. There's Yap right here on the bottom of the screen. That is 90W, and it was degraded to a low rating for development, meaning that development is unlikely in the next 24 hours into a tropical depression. JTWC did go from a sub-low rating to straight up to a medium as it was making its approach to Guam Monday, but Of course, that fizzled out. This was really never a significant tropical disturbance. It had no low-level circulation center. It was more of an open wave trough with a belt of stronger trade winds just on the northern periphery of that system. And now that's gone on by. So any remaining threat from 90W, none. If there's any development that's going to occur with this area, it's going to be taking place well into the Philippine Sea once it's well northwest of Yap and Palau, and also into eastern Philippines. So no threat with that one. Looking ahead for the next several weeks, we do have several tropical disturbances that will be rolling by. The American GFS model does pick up a disturbance right around this area in outer Yap and Chuk states, close to Waliai. That could spin up into a circulation of sorts near Palau in the next couple of days, but of course, no development is expected with that one. But then we have another wave of action coming up between Kosrae and Pohnpei over here. That's going to stay well to our south, and that could be another weak circulation over into the weekend and into early next week. So we have wave after wave of possible tropical disturbances pushing westward through Micronesia. But all of that action is going to stay to our south. So we really have no significant tropical cyclone threats. There's no suspect areas for development, which is great news. But yeah, remarkably slow and quiet for this region this time of the year. JTWC did start issuing advisories on what is now Tropical Depression 18W. That is that depression here over just north of Okinawa. And this one is not currently forecast to become a tropical storm, just a very weak tropical cyclone, but likely to generate a lot of showers and thunderstorms for the region from Kyushu, Japan, all of Western Japan, and maybe up into the Korean Peninsula. This is Busan right over there. So if you're traveling to Korea or Western Japan in the next several days, do check the weather forecast, because this thing's going to be rolling up through there, moving kind of slowly. It's a broad, disorganized mess the next couple of days. But if you're also going to be on the East Coast of the states, for example, my hometown, North Carolina, this is Hurricane Erin. This has been the powerhouse storm on the planet for the last several days. It was a major typhoon. I think it was a Category 5, and then it started weakening to Category 4. It is now a very powerful Category 2 hurricane, still with maximum sustained winds of 105 miles per hour. That is on a gradual downward trend. It's going to be holding intensity for the next day or two, but then start weakening. It is forecast to stay just offshore of the Outer Banks. But if you're familiar with Cape Hatteras and Ocracoke Islands and all of Dare County, North Carolina, that's some mild stomping grounds. They could be seeing tropical storm force winds on the outer periphery as this hurricane moves offshore. But that's the good threat. But the seas and surf, and you notice this little spit of land, that's all barrier islands, all sand. And you're going to be seeing a lot of national and international news coverage in the coming days with Ocracoke, Cape Hatteras, Dare County. They're going to take a severe beating. Remember back to Tropical Storm Crosa on Saipan a couple of weeks ago. All the inundation of the large swell and waves that were causing problems in Saipan with the micro beach. This is going to be a significant event for Highway 12, North Carolina Highway 12 and the Outer Banks. There's going to be significant erosion. We're probably going to see a lot of houses and cottages, vacation rental homes, be swallowed up by the ocean as the waves undermine their structures along the beaches, especially in Rodanthe and Cape Hatteras. So that's going to be coming up in the news. But the good news is Erin will stay offshore with those strongest winds somewhere between Cape Hatteras and Bermuda over here in the open Atlantic. And so no landfalling situation with Erin, but major coastal event. Back to our region. Yeah, that 90W that brought some gusty winds to our region. That is all west of us. And again, we're going to be in a steady trade wind pattern for the next several days into the weekend. But we could see showers and thunderstorms Friday and Saturday across Saipan and Tinian as that next surface trough sweeps on through the region. So, of course, it is wet season. There are no tropical cyclone threats for our region, but things can and do spin up rather quickly. Podal forecast models did not do a good job spinning that up in advance, but nevertheless, we did have a tropical depression emerge, and then it became Typhoon Podal, which kept well to our north. So always keep an eye to the sky. Always keep up to date with the weather forecasts from the National Weather Service Guam office.
Yeah, I don't know if you were paying attention, but over the weekend, we had a lot of stuff happening last week. And all that stuff from the tropical storm that was going through Crosa. as it got closer and closer, we ended up getting more erosion on the beach, which ended up revealing a Japanese bunker from World War II. And inside of that bunker, it was loaded with stacked and crated ammunitions, landmines, mortar rounds, 20 Mike rounds, and all kinds of small arms rounds and grenades.
And that's fascinating. It's simply fascinating to think of that being under there for all these decades and nobody knowing about it. And it makes you wonder what else is yet to be uncovered from the war days
the secret,
across all of our islands.
The legend of the Japanese gold. You know, who's going to find it? I am not going to tell anybody when I find it, but when all of a sudden I start rolling down Beach Road in a Lambo, something's going to be up.
Yeah, I probably won't tell anybody, but when I don't end up coming to work at the office for a while, yeah, there might be signs.
There might be signs is right. Hey, Landon, I know you're our source for weather that's happening in our region and everything, but you know, a lot of folks, if they watch the show, they've come to know you as doing some other really cool stuff, you know, with building and with your charitable stuff. And you got something that's going to be coming up in about a month.
Yeah, that's correct. The Tower for Humanity, project number 7. We're going to be building Dubai's Wanza Bill. We're going to break ground on September 24th, and we're going to build right on through every day until October 3rd. We hope to cap the 2 towers and the link that's going to connect the 2 towers by October 3rd. This is going to be a 20-foot structure at the Guyan Shopping Center. So if you're on Guam or have plans to come to Guam, definitely come by around that time frame between September 24th and October 3rd. And get involved and maybe volunteer to help build the project. But we're also partnering with Be Heartfelt, the food charity that helps to feed children in need on Guam. They serve 350 kids now here on Guam, up from just a few dozen children a few years ago. They've expanded significantly since we started partnering with this construction event 3 years ago. They've also expanded to start serving kids on Guam. I forget how many number of kids on Saipan are being served with these meal pack programs. So when kids go home for the weekends, they still have food to eat on the weekends and during the summer, because a lot of these kids don't have meals available to them or a sustainable source of food. So that's the purpose of this charity, to really provide means for the people on our islands that really can't fend for themselves, and that is the young kids. And so we hope to do amazing things with this next project, collecting 25,000 cans of food. We've already got donations coming into the charity from the States. People have been donating on PayPal to the charity, BeHeartfelt.com, for the last couple of weeks. So this is a tremendous things going in favor of this charity and serving people in need on the islands. And so a lot of great stuff coming up. I look forward to seeing you over here in early October with this tower. We are soliciting teams and organizations. I think we just got Constellus Guam. They have been a powerhouse supporter for these projects for the last 2 years. Wow. Not just donating food, but also building incredible construction structures at the site. And so we look forward to having them and seeing what they come up with in October.
Well, I'm excited about it. You know, we got there last year, and this is going to be a regular thing for us to take the show on the road and to experience the whole thing. And, you know, I remember getting there last year and going into the Guyan Shopping Center. First of all, they are terrific, and they're really welcoming and accommodating. But I'm in there, and it's like a movie set, because I'm in there before anybody's in there, aside from the security guards in the morning. And so I can really start doing the show and everything, get everything going. And then it's almost like Stranger Things. You know, you're in that in the mall, and then little by little, people start rolling in there. You guys get in there, you get to work, and then you know, the phone calls, and next thing you know, we're in full mode. But it's a great experience to be down there. I love seeing the wonder in people's faces as you guys are building these structures inside there. I mean, and that's kids and adults alike. You know, we're watching you guys live out your dream. You're living your lives, doing all that stuff. And again, set against the backdrop of raising money and foods for people who are in need. And one of the things I love about it the most, no, come on in. One of the things I love about it the most is that you guys don't just add schools like it's like a one and done thing. This is something that you're able to do it because you add schools because you can sustain them.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm setting a personal goal for 25,000 cans of food raised. And so think back to our first year we collected 5,500 cans of food, which is great for first year. The second year we collected 17,000 cans of food and some money, which was phenomenal. I am looking at collecting 25,000 cans of food for this event,
Wow.
and I think it's achievable. It's a huge number, but I think it's achievable. And when you do the numbers, think of 350 kids just on Guam. If 350 kids get 1 can of food for Saturdays throughout the year, that's 18,000 cans of food for a whole year. But we're providing meal packs for 350 kids every weekend and the summer. And so that's going to be, assuming 1 can of food for all of these kids on Saturday, 1 can of food on Sunday. That's 36,000 cans of food. And that includes the snacks and the drinks that also make it a well-rounded meal pack for breakfast and lunch Saturdays, Sundays, and through the summer months. So 25,000 is a big number, but in the grand scheme of sustainability for this charitable effort, that's a very small part of the overall goal for the charity. And so, again, we're serving kids in Saipan. We're serving kids in Palau now. That was an expansion of the charity last year. And we hope to build that to support all the schools in Saipan and maybe even Rota and Tinian at some point, and perhaps even Micronesia in the future, because we really want to strengthen and make life possible for people across the region.
Well, and you're doing it. And you started in Guam, you're expanding here. Now you went from multi-island to multinational with this stuff, and it's just a wonderful thing. And even though it's directly helping the kids who sometimes could fall through the cracks through nutrition and lack and all that stuff, you're really helping the parents too. I mean, you're helping relieve some of what they have to do anyway, but also not have to fret as much, knowing that they're able to provide for their kids a little bit better because of the work that you guys are doing. It's really wonderful stuff. You're killing it out there, Landon. Geez, how come? Where's your cape? Is that a cape on your door, or is that a jacket? I can't tell.
That is a variety of jackets over there that I've not worn lately because it's been so hot in my office. But I do have all kinds of portable units and fans in my office because the AC is broken in the front hall.
Wait. What is?
I'm dying.
It looks like you're on a starship, or some kind of spaceship where they've got all kinds of. What the heck is going? Is that what is that contraption?
That is a portable AC unit. So I got ventilation going up into the ceiling up there.
That's the heat.
Portable
That's the
unit
exhaust.
over here. Yeah, I've got a fan under my desk, another fan behind my desk, and I'm like literally the last couple of weeks I've been sticking to my desk in my office. I actually came in here in a tank top just in case. People accuse us of controlling the weather. We can't even control the temperature in our building, so if that solves any problems.
All right, that's great. Hey, Landon, it's 8:03 over here in Saipan. We're going to take a real quick break, and we've got some folks who are coming in, talk about some other worthy causes over here and worthy efforts here on the home front. I want to say thanks so much for dropping in and helping us with the weather again, and we're looking forward to it. I mean, our travel budget just keeps going up and up and up, so we can be over there for this thing. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Perfect. It'll be great to have you over here, and I hope we can collaborate on all kinds of great stuff very soon.
I'll be there for more than 48 hours. That's all right, Landon. Thanks so much. All right, that's our buddy Landon Aidlet over there in Guam, taking care of us, letting us know what's going on with the weather, and doing God knows what to his office and that building. It sounds like they've got a serious amount of work to do on that air conditioning unit. All right, folks, so we're going to take a real quick break. We come back, we're going to have some of our special guests in studio. Who's it going to be? Ooh, the mystery will be solved after this.
Got Medicaid?
Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
I'm Ben Thomas. The White House says President Trump's surge of federal law enforcement in the nation's capital has resulted in 465 arrests. And Haya Panjwani reports the Justice Department's launched an investigation into D.C. crime data.
The Trump administration is looking into whether law enforcement in the nation's capital made crime rates look lower than they are. The investigation comes during a showdown between the Trump administration and the city over control of the police department. President Trump claimed that violent crime in Washington is getting worse as he ordered a federal takeover of the city's police department, where crime rates have fallen in recent years. Earlier this year, a Metropolitan Police Department commander suspected of manipulating crime data was placed on paid administrative leave. D.C.'s mayor said that the city's police chief had concerns about one commander, investigated all 7 districts, and verified that the concern was with one person. Haya Panjwani, Washington.
A day after saying the U.S. would support a European-led effort to defend Ukraine in an eventual peace deal with Russia, President Trump told Fox News channels Fox and Friends that will not involve U.S. troops in Ukraine.
You have my assurance, and I'm president, and I'm just trying to stop people from being killed.
Hurricane Aaron stirring up treacherous waves on the East Coast, prompting dozens of water rescues. And Julie Walker reports another death's been reported in a Legionnaire's disease outbreak in New York City,
bringing the total number of those who died to 5. Officials say they've concluded the death of a person with the disease who died before mid-August is associated with the cluster. The outbreak in central Harlem has sickened dozens since it began in late July. 14 people were hospitalized as of Monday, according to the health department. The bacteria that causes Legionnaires had been discovered in 12 cooling towers on 10 buildings, including a city-run hospital. Officials say remediation efforts have since been completed on all the cooling towers. Julie Walker, New York.
This is AP News. Seth Sutel now with the AP Markets Report.
Stocks pulled back from their records as several companies caught up in the recent AI frenzy gave back some of their gains. The S&P 500 fell 0.6% Tuesday. The index set its latest all-time high last week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average edged up just 10 points. That's less than 0.1%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite fell 1.5%. Big drops for Nvidia, Palantir, and other companies that have ridden a wave of AI-related gains led the way lower. Home Depot helped keep the Dow above water with a gain of 3.2%. The home improvement retailer stuck to its full-year forecasts. Seth Sutel, New York.
And the Trump administration's vying for a 10% ownership stake in the Silicon Valley pioneer Intel. That word follows Japanese technology giant SoftBank Group's announcement of a $2 billion investment in Intel. There's more news and the latest developments at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
If you see something, say something. And stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
It is 8:12 in the morning, and we are just moving along with a very busy Wednesday. It is hump day out there, and that means it's a good opportunity for you to get down to Godfather's Beach Bar because, my gosh, you're not going to be able to make it out through this week without them. I can't, but there are a lot of good things going on with them right now. Did you know that you can get 6-hour drafts out there? They're open at 4 p.m. every single day, 6-hour drafts. They've got 805 Blue Moon. I love myself some 805, but they've got all kinds of great stuff. They've got $20 buckets, they've got $25 buckets, they've got more. You've seen them on the commercials, and you'll see them in the top screen, but now you're going to be able to see someone who's a lot cooler than all of that stuff, because we've got some folks from the Department of Labor and from the Attorney General's office here to talk to us about what you should be spending your money on, because they are here. There are folks out here who love families so much they have more than one of them, and they got to make sure that you take care of them, whether or not you're able to. There's still responsibilities that you have in this world, and we've got folks here to make sure that you do it. If you don't, you're going to get you. The other thing is, though, they want to help you do that, and they'll come up with a way to work together to try to make that happen for you. And we've got them in studio. I want to say hi, and we'll get you guys. Look at those smiling faces on the show with us today, and you guys get to try our new little setup that we have this time. I'm using this camera and all this other stuff. Could you just introduce yourselves to everybody and let everybody know who you guys are and what you do?
Sure. I'm Rebecca Wiggins. I'm an Assistant Attorney General, and I work in the Child Support Enforcement Division, amongst other things.
Good morning, CNMI. My name is Frances Torres. I am the Director for the Workforce Investment Agency Division at the Department of Labor.
So you're wondering, what do these guys have in common? And when we were at the proclamation signing, got to hear about that a great program that you have. I know there's a whole bunch of stats for other things you guys could talk about too, but working together to help folks who don't have the means maybe to help pay for their child support payments or pay for their obligations to their families, and that could be anybody. It could be the men who are taking care of the kids, could be the women taking care of the kids. Whoever it is, they need to have some support, and with people who don't have jobs. You guys are like a great connector. You're trying to actually help people get jobs so they could do all that stuff. It blew my mind. I love that we have that kind of support structure there for the folks in the Marianas.
So that's the Responsible Parent Court. And yes, that is, the premise is that everyone would want to pay their child support if they can. And so if there's a way that we can help them do that, we want to do it. So I reached out to the Department of Labor, and Francis was excited about the program. We've met and come up with a plan. The plan is that we're going to go through our caseload and kind of try to target some individuals who are in contempt of court, frankly. They're not paying their child support, and try to bring them into court with an order to show cause. And if they come in and they say, hey, I do want to pay my child support, but I just simply cannot because I don't have a job, we say, well, here is the WIA caseworker. The Department of Labor WIA program has said we will assign a caseworker specifically to this court. They'll be in the courtroom. We'll get people set up right away. And Francis can obviously talk about everything that WIA has to offer, but I was really excited about all of the programming that they have, all the skills that people can learn. They are paid to learn how to get a job. I mean, it's an amazing program. So I'll let WIA go from there.
Thank you, Becky. So we're just as excited as Becky to be a partner of the Responsible Parent Court. The goal is simple, is really to engage with non-custodial parents and get the referrals from the court to enroll them into our program. Through our program, we'll be able to assist with developing their skills, through training, of course, so that they can end up with a job, and then ultimately provide the support to their families as mandated through the courts. Through our program, they'll receive a wide array of services that includes career services, training, and job placement supports, and addressing barriers or their personal challenges.
Wow.
So we're super excited. We will have a dedicated staff assigned to this partnership. That way there is that consistency with one person, and they can, develop relationships so that they can be successful with the program.
That's great. So, how does that work with, when I used to cover the courts, I used to cover as much as I could. So I would cover everything all the time. Now I can't do every single thing. But I would see people who would go in there in civil court to do, not the family court stuff. Is this under family court? Or?
So I did want to, thank you for asking that, because I did want to really give a shout out to the judiciary. They were very open. Judge Kim Tenorio in particular is the judge that I approached, and she said absolutely she'll allot a big chunk of time to this. This takes a lot of time from the court and a judge who's really invested in people succeeding. So I just wanted to give a shout out to the court. So it is a part of family court, yes.
That's great. So, I didn't go in to do a lot of the family court stuff because it just felt like that's people's personal business, right? But with regards to seeing some of the other civil things, you see people who don't have jobs, and when they're told to pay like certain fines, seeing people like, I'm not working, so I don't have any money, so I can't pay anything. And it doesn't seem like there's anywhere to go. But this one is like you're actively trying to work this out. And you're really advocating for, you're advocating for the kids, I guess, is who's the recipient of these child support payments, right?
Correct. And there's lots of research that shows that parents who are financially invested in their children are more likely to be emotionally invested in their children, which of course makes sense, and vice versa. So if we get the parents in, we get them invested, the non-custodial parents in working, then they have more financial investment in their children, and hopefully they'll get more emotionally invested. And then when you get more emotionally invested, then you actually do care that they have their cleats for soccer, for instance, right? Because you care. So it builds on itself, is the hope. I would like to point out that part of this court also is that if all of these resources are put in and all of these efforts are made and the court does all of these things and the MIA does all of these things and they're just simply refusing to engage, there has been a law on the books in the CNMI since I think 2017 that licenses can be revoked or suspended for non-payment of child support. So we're going to start doing that too. Going to try the carrot, and if the carrot doesn't work, we're going to go with the stick. But it's really important for children that they receive the support of both parents. So,
You know, I 100% agree with that. That makes great sense. And, you know, if you can't pay for the kids you have, you're not going to be able to drive to go meet your new girlfriend or to start new kids that you can't pay for. I know, but, you know, it's so funny that I can easily... in this day and age when everybody's so conscious about like who has what role and that, you know, these things don't matter, it could be either way. So it's not just that. There's plenty of dads out there who are taking care of their kids that their moms aren't involved with, and it's a sad story too. So sorry, dads, if you think that you're the only one who are getting the short end of that stick. So I've got your presentation a little bit. You wanna go through this? You wanna start rolling through some of this stuff? This is pretty neat.
Yeah. If that would be helpful, that would be great.
Yeah, well, we could see, because people get to see this and you at the same time. Look at that. Magic.
I wish I could see that at the same time.
Would it help if I... you know what? Oh, it's because I got this mount on here. There may be a better way for me to do this for you. Hold on one second. Do you know the ones that are going to be coming up afterwards? Hold on. I have a plan.
Yay!
And that is something that maybe will be helpful to you too. Hold on. Let's go to here, and you'll be able to see it as it's happening. There we go. Hold on, I gotta turn the volume down there. And then I gotta go full screen on this. And you gotta tell me if this is gonna be helpful to you. Is that helpful?
Yeah, that's great.
Is that what you're looking for? All right, so there you go. Now everybody's like wondering, the buildup is intense. This better be great.
I know that.
You know, like everybody's sitting here watching. What's going on? What's he about to show?
It's really like PowerPoint 101. It's beautiful stuff.
All right, so let's fire away. What do we got here? So
you can skip through about me stuff, but let's talk
I like
about
the about you stuff. I think that's what everyone wants to see. Look at that. It's great to hear people for people to know about you a little bit. I didn't know until we had this proclamation that August is National Child Support Month.
It is, and August is nationally celebrated. This apparently was the first time that CNMI celebrated Child Support Enforcement Month. So hopefully this will be an ongoing thing, and the awareness of child support will get bigger and bigger in the CNMI.
I heard that from the governor too. He said that he thought that this was the first time that that's been celebrated, or at least commemorated.
Yeah.
So it's a great first start. I mean, with all the work that both of you guys are doing, it's got to mean something a little bit special. I mean, it's starting to really pay off and get some momentum going.
And I am pleased to show that there does appear to be momentum, because we have, if you look at the next slide, the chart shows that our collections are going up. So we had a big boost in 2020. You can imagine where that came from.
Oh yeah.
That was the government's money. Like, you don't get any of that government money if you owe child support. So that's our big boost in 2020.
Nice.
And then you can see that we went down, but we are back up, even kind of above where we were in 2020. So things are happening.
So what do you think that the second round of this increase is all about? I mean, people are talking about the economy not being all that great right now, but all of a sudden people are playing catch up.
I think maybe we're giving it a little bit more attention. Maybe the court's giving it a little more attention. We are trying to make it more of a focus. I think we're trying to make it more of a focus with employers as well. So in the CNMI, we also have a directory of new hires, and everyone who is hired or fired the law is that the companies need to let us know that. So if we get more money or if we get more information from those employers, then we're able to collect more. So if we
Great.
hear like, hey, I just hired this person, we have automatic income withholding, so the money will come out, which is better for everybody, right?
And it wasn't happening before. Like, so the other thing I'd heard about it, but I wasn't really in that loop, that the child support amounts were very low.
They still are quite low here. Coming from the States, the wages are lower here than they are, I came from Colorado, so the minimum wage is higher than $7.25 there. But the support orders here are quite low. It's based on a worksheet, so, it's an objective criteria, but I think, unfortunately, what it says is that most people are working for kind of lower wages. I would say that most orders are about $150, $100 per child. It's pretty low, yeah.
Or great if you want to be a deadbeat dad. I mean, like you can, like if you want to have kids and you don't want to have to take care of them or take care of them on the cheap, Saipan is the place to come. It's terrible. Really, it is pretty sad. I mean, I don't know that that doesn't seem like you're really contributing all that much.
It doesn't. I mean, people who are taking care of their children on the day-to-day know that $100 will get you.
That's not even food for a whole month for a kid.
That's right. Right.
That's not to mention clothes, not to mention taking them to school, getting them to school, and that's assuming if they're of school age, not even clothes, school supplies, and all that other stuff. If they're infants and all that stuff, and the mom's got to work too, how's she going to handle that? I mean, there's no way. I can't. And again, I keep saying it, the mom and the dad in that position. It could be anyone, right? The parent responsible.
That's right.
How could you really expect that to be a real level of support? But the other thing is, if the people aren't making that much money, is this based on income?
It is based on income, and in a couple of slides here, there are different worksheets. And so the judiciary got together and created an actual objective worksheet in 2020. So that also could frankly account for more of the increase in the child support orders coming in. They got together, and there are child support guidelines. So it's frankly a math equation. So you look at, if you want to go.
Oh, wait, by the way, I'm looking on here, and Caleb, this is exactly what I was talking about. He's like, how about if the dad raised the kids, and does the mom have to do the child support?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
It's just it doesn't say mom and dad in the law. It says custodial parent and non-custodial parents.
I need to change that language in here, too. I mean, to say that. We were just going through, it's the timeline stuff that you were talking about, how all this stuff got hired, and where do you want me to go?
If you go,
I'm on purpose of child support.
Yeah, well, let's just.
Okay.
I mean, we've been talking about that, but I think it's important to note that the point of child support is that children are not supposed to be negatively affected by the fact that their parents are not together. So because of that, the guidelines are focused on what each parent makes, their adjusted gross income, because they get $550 to take care of themselves in the adjusted gross income. And all of this money goes into a formula. It's just an objective formula to kind of remove it doesn't matter if the custodial parent has remarried a multimillionaire, right? None of that matters. It's just an objective criteria that the numbers go into. So you consider their adjusted gross income, you consider whether or not they're paying for health insurance, whether or not they're paying for daycare. All of those numbers go into this worksheet, and at the end, you look at, there's like a chart, and it says, okay, there's 3 children. You go down here, and this is how much you pay. So there's no it's trying to remove the subjectivity from it. And the whole point is that these obligations are supposed to take priority over other obligations. It's supposed to be your primary. It's supposed to be your.
But primary. I have a dart league.
Right.
Darts got you in this trouble in the first place. All right. Anyway, so you want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Right.
And it shows you the worksheet there.
Yeah.
So there's two different worksheets, and this is important to note, again, going into like the involvement of the parents. There's one worksheet if you're with a child very infrequently, that's like the sole custody. If the non-custodial parent doesn't spend a lot of time with the child, they have to pay more. Makes sense?
Yeah.
If they're with the child like 50% of the time, they have to pay less because they're paying for the child when they're with the child. So there are ways to account for that. Our office only handles interstate child support orders. So people who are both on this island now need to seek the assistance from legal services, Micronesian Legal Services, or they can always access the courts on their own. I think our office, if individuals in the CNMI want our office to handle intrastate cases, that's something to take up with the legislature.
Yeah, I don't know if on your resume, I didn't see it on here if you were a mind reader, but that's what I was thinking about. How does this work for people? Because I don't come across it very often, but when I do, it's usually like from friends who, if they happen to split up, maybe somebody wants to move somewhere else, or maybe, and that's not just about visitation, that's about getting the passports done, that's about doing everything. And how does that work? And this, am I straying too far away from the main topic of child support? And if I am, that's fine. But like, how could that even be broached in the first place? If somebody wanted to move away and the other person doesn't have the means or the interest in moving away when you've got a kid, I mean, how does that work?
That is outside of child support,
Yeah.
but it's a big, and it is important and complicated, and definitely you need to seek the assistance of the court in moving away, because you can't just leave the island with a child without some kind of an agreement. Both parents have equal rights to the child, right? So, but in terms of child support,
Yep.
The child support orders do take that into account. So if the child has moved off island and the non-custodial parent needs to go off island to see their child, that is one of the considerations that can go into the child support order.
Oh, great. And then with many offices here, there is some kind of a bridge communication with other state agencies. Like I'm thinking in terms of right now, I'm thinking about the Elections Commission, where they reach out to other states and say, hey, have our residents registered there and all that. For child support stuff like that, I know you're only dealing with folks interstate, but would you communicate with them directly to try to get some of that enforcement?
Yes. So here I will segue for like a little brief history. So welfare used to be aid for families with dependent children, and that did not have a time limit. In the Clinton administration, there was welfare reform, for those of us who were around. It was a big deal, and they changed it to temporary aid for needy families, TANF. The CNMI opted out of welfare. They opted out of AFDC, and they therefore opted out of TANF. Every state that has TANF was obligated by the federal government to have child support enforcement. The reason being, if we're going to say to custodial parents, you've got 5 years of aid and then you're cut off, we as a government better do something to fill in that gap. And the filling in the gap is non-custodial parents are going to start paying for their children, right? So the federal government gave big grants and to every state, and they put together, like they have these very complicated computer programs that communicate all with each other to locate parents and to automatically suspend driver's license, to automatically suspend gun licenses, to automatically take passports. So this big national computer system does all of those things. Since we don't have in the CNMI TANF, we didn't get that big grant for that big exciting computer program. The first thing I did when I came to the CNMI was see if we could kind of get into somebody else's computer system, right? Because, but it's really expensive, and as you mentioned earlier, the orders are quite low, so just financially, from a taxpayer perspective, didn't make a lot of sense. So we're trying to do all the things that we can't take passports, but we can suspend licenses because the CNMI legislature put that into law. We can do income withholding. So we can do a lot of the things. And we are, the reason why we're mandated, the Office of the Attorney General is mandated to enforce these orders is because of the UIFSA. The fact that those states need to be able to come to us and get child support.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we're mandated to only do those interstate cases. And again, in other states, they're also mandated to do intra-state cases. Our legislature could mandate us to do that. Of course, take a lot more money because, that takes money. So that's a decision from the legislature. But we do communicate. We have cases, a lot of cases in Washington, as you can imagine, cases in Colorado, Texas, where the children of the CNMI are living there, and we have to communicate. Or the non-custodial parent is living in those states, and then we get the order. So we have a lot of communication with the states.
I mean, in the event that somebody left here, I mean, this seems like it would be in that court, and they went to the states, you got to track them down, and how can you enforce those orders when they're not here?
Yes.
Okay, so
that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
Those are the exact orders that we're doing, and those people are making more money, so those orders are a little higher than the orders that are on the island, because minimum wage is much higher.
What's the burden of proof for parenting, or for a parent, like, to prove that is your child? Like, how does that work?
We do that as well. We have genetic tests, DNA tests,
Mm-hmm.
and so people can contest paternity, and you should if you're not 100% sure. And then we get the genetic tests. I always say, and I've always said, child support enforcement through the government is not just for people who don't want to pay. It's not like it's a service,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a service where we'll do your genetic tests, we'll make sure that you're the parent, then we'll help you get an order that's fair, and then we'll track that order for you. So then there doesn't have to be any kind of he said, she said, you paid me, no you didn't. No, everyone who, this is a service for non-custodial parents too. So if someone's watching this and they know they have a child in the CNMI and they happen to be in Nevada, contact our office. It's not just custodial parents that should want this service. It's non-custodial parents as well.
Say, hey, can you prove that this is I've been doing this for so many years, and I don't think that, oh, wow. You know what? I think we can really work something out here. We got a studio. We can Maury Povich this thing. And it would be great.
Who's the father?
Yeah. You are not the father. All right, I know, it's terrible. But it would be interesting. All right, so these are really interesting things. Like, these are services that I don't know that a lot of people knew that was available. Like, it's the case of this working for everybody and your government working for you, and something that's worthwhile. And what you guys working together, I think, is amazing. And I know we'll get to that, but we have 78 more pages to go on this PowerPoint. It's not true. It's not true. But maybe we can get through some of these other ones, because you've got some other examples on some things here. Because you've got those on here. Some of the things that you guys are doing over at the office, again, you provide that kind of services, determine paternity, like you were just saying, register orders from other states, disperse the money that does get received. So do they pay you directly and then you send it out? How does that work?
They pay the court. It goes through the court. It used to go through the Treasury Department, but they decided it should go through the court.
Well, that also is probably good, because then it's not the parents that have to deal with each other if there's a real conflict, if they didn't separate on amicable terms.
That's exactly right. And that's why I say, truly, it's a service to both parents. So a non-custodial parent that is interested in having a fair order and not just making it up and wants us to keep track of the payments, then there's no question, right? There's no one, I paid in March, and she says I didn't pay in March, or we have documentation.
Here's a new question. A couple here have a child. They split up. They get a order here, and that's the order. They both happen to move to other places. Can they refile in those new places where they live?
Yes, they can refile, and they should they should seek the services from child support wherever they are, and then we will give the order up, because only one state can have jurisdiction of an order. So as soon as they move, they should file where they are. And
So what if one of them stays here and the order is here and the other one goes off? Then which order would take precedent?
well, then we still have the order. We would modify it based on wherever that person went. So is the scenario that the non-custodial parent leaves to go get better work, then we would modify our order
or
here.
vice versa.
Or vice versa, right? So if the custodial parent leaves, they would then seek the services of the state they're in. If the non-custodial parent leaves, we keep the jurisdiction and then we modify the order. So anytime there's a change of circumstances like that's a change of circumstances, we modify the order. We also are supposed to go and review every order every 3 years and modify it, which we're starting to do as well. So people should start looking for those letters coming.
And how long does that go? How long is that responsibility for that non-custodial parent?
It depends on the order, but typically it would be 18.
Okay.
A lot of orders say, through college, if that's a thing, but.
How about in, now this is, there's a whole lot of specifics, so we'll probably go through everything. But it's got to be, I know the expenses have to be a lot higher in the needs of a special needs child. So are there other resources that come into play in those kind of situations?
I mean, that's part of the child support order. So it's, says exceptional, it's part of the worksheet. If you're paying exceptional
Incredible.
fees and stuff, yeah.
It says also, there is not an attorney-client relationship or other fiduciary relationship between the Attorney General's office and the individual being assisted by the office. That's kind of like for everything that you're doing at the AG's office,
That's right?
Like you're advocates of the system, not the actual person.
That's right. That's right. And that's, I want that to be known. Again, I keep kind of reaching out to the non-custodial parents. We're the government, right? So our interest is not to get you at any expense, right? Our goal is to have a fair child support order, right? So we're trying to help the child.
Yep. All right, let's roll through this here because I don't want to miss out on some of the stuff. This is where you were talking about this already. Some of the things the courts can do to try to make sure those payments are done. Establish the orders, then order income withholding. And does that happen a lot here? Is there a lot of income withholding that happens?
There is a lot of income withholding, yes.
And so outside of the actual money that's going to be held from the non-custodial parent, it's also like a level of embarrassment. Like you really don't want that to come to your workplace. Like that's another incentive, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't want that to be be the case because again, it's not you're not. A lot of the people who have income withholding, they're paying their child support every single month. There's no embarrassment. It's being withheld from their check, and I mean, what could be embarrassing is you owe a bunch of arrears, and that's coming out. But it's not embarrassing at all. It's something you should be proud of that you're paying your child support, and it's coming out of your check every single paycheck, and you're doing your obligation.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yes.
So so this is just what happens. So if you have an agreement with between the custodial and non-custodial parents, and it's going through the court, it's gonna be deducted. It's not something that they can just write the check.
They can, but I really encourage people not to do that because okay, I have an agreement. We're getting along well. I write the check. You get the check. I write the check. You say I didn't get the check, right? And then you have an issue. And we all have the friends who are like, I remember walking to home after visitation with my dad with the child support check and my mom saying, oh yeah, thanks for nothing. Everyone remembers that kind of stuff. So you know what? That's one of the interests of the government too. Remove all that stuff, right? We will get an order. We will withhold from your pay. You don't even know what's happening, right? Everyone's happy. The child's not involved with transmitting checks. I think it's cleaner. And again, I encourage everyone, even if you're getting along very well, this is just a service that the government can provide to you.
That makes sense. Totally understand it now. I'm looking at it through a brand new set of eyes. This is really great stuff. So
Okay.
it's not but it's for the arrears is what that's the only thing I was thinking you were talking
Yes.
about when I see income withholding. That's what it seems like to me. But
Tax intercept should be embarrassing.
Yes.
You should not have to have
Any.
your taxes intercepted because you're not paying your child support. There you should have some shame. Just pay your child support every month on time.
Is there any time, like jail time, that people can face for not doing any of this?
So they can. We're starting with the license suspension. It seems more reasonable, but we are starting with that. So and the law is very. You can take away business licenses. You can take away gun licenses. You can take away fishing licenses, hunting licenses, driver's licenses. So that sometimes gets people's attention. It's important then that the other authorities act on it, so then you could get in trouble for driving without a license more than just being in contempt of court.
Yep, so there's your freedom taken away right there, right?
Exactly.
So at least other things. So if you stay on top of it. But again, people aren't just being thrown out there. There's a support system ready to help, especially for folks, again, who don't have the means right now. And that's where you get in. We do have a few more of these things. Are we just crushing all these things already?
Yep.
So like if I don't have to go through the whole thing, here's the license suspensions things. Responsible parent court.
That's the thing.
All right, so let's do this. Let's get into that because we've got Francis here to talk about this stuff, and this is, I think, the bright shining light of what I think is probably an otherwise, it's not always a happy situation, right? But this is something where maybe people weren't already aware of what you guys are doing. They probably heard about you guys. Maybe they don't make that first step toward you, but you guys are there ready to go to try and help folks out. Do you want to talk about this a little bit?
Sure, Brad. So when Becky first approached the Secretary of Labor and I, we were very excited about this. It's an opportunity for us to show our community that our programs are not just for the youth, which is what we're commonly known for. And so through this partnership, we hope to create success stories to show the win-win situation for all, where the non-custodial parents, they're able to meet their obligations, gain skills, retain jobs, or maybe grow in their current jobs to more high-paying positions. The children get the financial support, but more importantly, we grow our workforce. So our community also, gets a share from this partnership. So that's what we're excited about. There are, many ways adults can avail of our program. Really, our big focus is to ensure that we equip them with the transferable skills so that they can move from, when the economy tanks or a certain industry tanks, they can move on to another. So that's why we're here, and we're thankful for Becky for pulling us into this whole partnership. We have yet to start, and so we're looking forward to it.
No, that's great. I'm just thinking, maybe the branding just needs to be changed. Like it becomes a team NCP, non-custodial parents, right? You got kids with T-shirts walking around. I love my NCP. That'd be great. And NCPs are people too. All right. So, but I absolutely love it. So it says it will begin with 10 participants. You're trying to remove the barriers to compliance with these orders, which you're absolutely doing, and help non-custodial parents find employment. What I really love about it is that once you get this thing started and once people start getting into it, that it's really going to be just a great testimonial for the other folks. Say, hey, we'll help you out. Take a look at so-and-so over here. We got them this and all that. And I would imagine that as a future employer, right now it's the Brad Show, right? But if somebody was coming to me and said, hey, here's somebody who fits some of the stuff you're looking for, and they're doing this because they want to be a better parent, well, man, come on, like that person's going to move up the list for me for sure. If it's a tie between two people, and I got a parent who wants to work so they can help pay for their kids, absolutely, I'm in. Like I love that idea.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And we encourage our employers out there to, reach out to us and help this effort that is happening through the courts, and take a chance at these individuals that are trying to change their lives so they could be responsible parents.
So what kind of feedback are you getting from folks? What kind of response are you getting from businesses and the non-custodial parents? I mean, how are they warm to these ideas?
Well, so this is just starting.
Yep.
So
Okay.
we haven't gotten any feedback yet. So
Okay.
we'll see. I will be interested. I tend to have a little bit of a Pollyanna attitude and think that, of course everyone wants to pay their child support, and of course they're going to want to get a job. So let's hope that we're right.
Listen to this deep cut Pollyanna reference. Raise your hand, Charlotte, if you know who she's talking about. No, the hand did not go up.
What is that?
The hand did not go up. All right, let's go on. Want to check this out. This is the this is the stuff that you were talking about, enforcing some of the non-compliance, and this has been around for 8 years, right? I mean, it's 2017, and if my math's still maths, I mean that sounds like 8 years. So. This is not something that you don't want to be that person who ends up losing your driver's license, and not the only license. Fishing, business, what other? Hunting. Can you imagine? No more Binadu for you. You're out. So it says non-compliance. So the total of a non-custodial parent's overdue and unpaid court-ordered current child support payments for which no payment's been ordered thereon. This is very specific. Basically, if you don't pay more than 3 months worth of stuff, then they could remove your license. That doesn't mean like, I'm not paying, I got another month to go yet. No, by the time you get to that point, plus there's got to be other kinds of court fees and penalties if you're not paying for that stuff. Not to mention the amount of time it takes for everybody to get in there and deal with this.
Well, and I thank you for bringing that up, because there is interest. So every single time you don't pay your child support, it becomes a judgment automatically. So it's like, as if you got in an accident and there's a judgment against you to pay it. This is a judgment every month. It used to earn 9% interest, and then I think in 2023, it was moved to 3% interest. So our calculations, all the arrears keep earning that interest. So we're going to start these licenses. I'm encouraging non-custodial parents to reach out to our office and come up with a plan to start paying some of these things down, so we don't have to do these things. We don't want to take licenses away. We don't want to. What we're trying to do is get people to pay their child support. So, we're not coming at this from a punitive perspective. So call our office. We are not representing the custodial parent. We are representing the best order we can get. We want the child support to come in, so call us up and we'll work with you.
Well, and there's a lot of government agencies that have that attitude, and I love it. When people are like, "Oh, these guys are no. You're trying to actually work with people, not because you're trying to just take the money. You're trying to get this system going. Zoning's got the same thing. They have all these penalties that sound really scary, and they kind of are, but they don't want to impose all this stuff on you. They want to work with you, and that sounds exactly like what you guys are trying to do.
Yep.
What's this? We only got one more here. This is it right here.
That's it?
Let's just show the contact info.
Oh, yeah. The contact info at the end.
Oh yeah, we'll put that on there for sure. But anyway, this is how it works to lose something, right? If you end up getting this notice that you're going to lose your license, you got 20 days. The clock is ticking. Tick, 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 tick. Get that last little trip to Marpe because you're not going to be able to drive up there anymore. Then it goes, then you have to notice the licensing body. Yeah. And you're not going to be able to have a boat. You forget it. You're going to be paddleboarding to get out there to fish too with your hands, and don't let anyone see you with a pole. Then they notice the body, the licensing agency, whoever it happens to be. And then they give you 10 days before the suspension is done. And then you can say, hey, but I need it. Right, there's your claim of special need. By the way, while all this is happening, there's other fees that are going in there that you have to, your office, it's more time and resources, but for whoever this is, they have to do that too. And if they're operating without a lawyer, well, boy, they're not making a great decision, and they're clearly not having plenty of money to throw around anyway. So, like, you don't want to keep paying all these fees as long as you stay with it. Then there's, if you want to get it back, if you get caught up with everything, then you need a written certification of compliance. And that's going to take a few days. If you turn that in on a Friday at 4 o'clock, you're still not driving that weekend, and it might not be till Tuesday, right? Yeah, sorry, you're walking the golf. Well, you can hop on Transit CNMI, CODA, take you anywhere you want to go from 6:30 to 8:30 Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8 on holidays and weekends. All right, and then there you go. And then you have to, again, a subsequent reissuance and renewal of license within 5 days. Yeah, I mean, like, that could take another week basically to get it back. And folks need to really know about this if they're going to start flirting with those bad ideas. But if you want to get more information, this is the number to call, right? And the email, 237-7500, which is how much you're going to have to pay in those fees. Or you can email child_support@cnmioag.org. Now, if somebody didn't see this show and they're walking around, like, is it just a matter of going to the court, or maybe they know about it? You guys have been trying to find them, or for whatever reason, maybe they hear about this and someone says, hey, you gotta pay for that. You haven't been paying for that kid for a while. Or maybe it's a custodial parent who hasn't done this, and gone through this process. Is that the first step? Do they reach out to you? Do they just go to the court? Or how does this work?
I would encourage them to reach out to us. If it is a case that we cannot help them with because both people are on the island, we can at least give them some resources to how to access the court. But any parent, custodial or non-custodial parent, if they are dealing with inter-state child support orders, we would love to help.
That's great. So, wow. So, again, this is new, right? And so, how did you get it to start to be now? After all this time, all these things were happening, what was the real impetus to get it going now, as opposed to, well, that's how we've been doing it and not doing it?
Because that's just not the way I think. It's taken a little bit of time to really get a handle on what's been going on in the Child Support Enforcement Unit. I think we now have a real handle on what cases we have. And when we were looking at those cases, we were trying to figure out what was in our arsenal that we could use to enforce the orders. And I like the license suspension, but I, as the first slide indicated, have a long history of working in family court and I'm more of a solution-focused lawyer than a punitive lawyer. So if we could come up with a solution, and I reached out to WIA and they were excited. And I reached out to the court and they were excited. So if I have excited people who are willing to, and this is an island that cares about its people. So let's help each other.
Anytime something like this happens, you need a champion to get it through. Like drug court, somebody had to champion drug court. I remember hearing about this. I think Bobby was working on something like this years ago. Bobby Spada, and then not sure. And then I think she's in Guam now again. She's still in Guam. So I know that there are people who have been working toward doing just this thing, but it takes people to champion it and people to work together and champion it together, and it becomes a reality. And that's what you guys are doing. You're changing the way our Commonwealth is by what you're doing for the community. It's pretty awesome.
Hopefully you can have us back in 5 or 6 months and we'll have some success stories.
Yes.
That'll be what we want.
Or they're going to come back in 9 months and tell me I got another payment.
You're on my list.
Sorry, Debbie.
You are what? Yeah, that's great. Ladies, it has been great to have you guys on here. Anything else that you want to let people know about?
I think we covered it all.
I do too.
Our partnership is so that we don't get those licenses revoked or anyone goes to jail.
Right.
Yep, that's what we're trying to avoid here.
I love it. Workforce Investment Agency and the Attorney General's office working together. WIA, it's not Workforce Investment Agency. It's Winners in Action.
Winners in Action. I like that.
Getting it done. All right. The other one is NCPs. You know, you guys, we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you guys the new hats, the merch, and everything. People are gonna be down with the NCPs. Yeah, you know me. Yeah, it's gonna be the cool new thing. All right, folks. We're gonna take a real quick break, and I want to say thanks again to you guys for coming in and telling us about this stuff. Hey, we can post this online. Do you mind?
Sure.
All right, so we'll post this on the website and on our social media channels so you guys can see all this stuff for yourself in case you didn't write everything down. Don't worry, we got you for that too. All right, folks, we're going to take a real quick commercial. When we come back, we'll have more. We'll get our international headlines, and we'll get into some of the local stuff too. We'll see you in just a little bit.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. Got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
I'm Ben Thomas. Senator Lindsey Graham says President Trump is willing to crush Russia's economy with sanctions if President Vladimir Putin refuses to meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The South Carolina Republican says he spoke with Trump this morning after Monday's meetings at the White House with Zelensky and several European leaders. The president told Fox News channels Fox and Friends Russia and Ukraine need to reach a deal quickly.
They're losing, think of it, 5,000 to 7,000 a week. So even these guys, they'll say, okay, let's meet next week. I say, you can't meet next week. Next week, you're going to have 7,000 more dead people. You can't do that.
Meantime, Lisa Dwyer reports on the deployment of 3 U.S. destroyers.
As President Trump pushes for using the military to thwart cartels, 3 Aegis-guided missile destroyers are being deployed to the waters off Venezuela. The USS Gravely, USS Jason Dunham, and USS Sampson are expected to arrive over the course of, quote, several months. In February, Trump's administration designated Venezuela's Trinidad Aragua as a foreign terrorist organization and has stepped up immigration enforcement against alleged gang members. Earlier this month, the Trump administration announced it was doubling to $50 million, a reward for the arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, accusing him of being one of the world's largest narco-traffickers and working with cartels to flood the U.S. with fentanyl-laced cocaine. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Hurricane Aaron stirring up treacherous waves that already have led to dozens of water rescues and shut down beaches along the East Coast. National Hurricane Center Director Michael Brennan.
We've now issued a storm surge warning for the Outer Banks of North Carolina from Cape Lookout up through Cape Hatteras, all the rest of Dare County up to Duck. This means there's the danger of life-threatening inundation of 2 to 4 feet of inundation above ground level.
Rip current warnings are posted from Florida to New England. This is AP News. A golf course owned by President Trump's returning to the PGA Tour rotation. Gethin Coolbaugh has details.
Trump Doral in Florida is back on the PGA Tour schedule for the first time in 10 years. The Miami Championship in early May will be a $20 million signature event. Players will have a 6-week stretch that starts with the Masters and ends with the PGA Championship, with 3 $20 million events in between. Players who aren't eligible for the biggest events might have only 2 tournaments for which they are eligible. The PGA Tour lost the Barracuda Championship in Lake Tahoe opposite the British Open. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
And the Boston Celtics have a new owner, private equity mogul Bill Chisholm. His offer valued the franchise at more than $6.1 billion. The Celtics were put on the market last summer, soon after winning their record 18th NBA championship. There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
If you see something, say something. And stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. Brad's got the stories that'll light your way. Take a smile on his face, he's ready to share. Share. Good morning, Marianas. Feel the love in the air. Yeah. Good morning, Marianas. Come join the fun. Together we'll shine like the morning sun.
With the waves crashing in, hear the oceans call. Brad brings the news that connects us all. From the islands to the world, those kind of weird. Good morning, Marianas, the best time of year.
Good morning, Marianas. Let's start the day. With laughter and stories, come what may.
All right, everybody, it is Good Morning Mariana. It's 9:08 in the morning here on Monday. No, it's Tuesday. No, it's Wednesday. It's hump day. You gotta love it. Hey, I want to say thanks to our guests from the Attorney General's office and from Department of Labor for coming in and getting us all this skinny on what's happening. But I have an apology out there. My goodness. Peeling, you called me while they were in there, and I had I just saw all these missed calls that we got. You wanted to call and be a part of the show, and I had the phone sitting over there as I'm looking to the ladies over here. The ringer is silenced. Man, I'm sorry. Dispensa. Next time. Literally looking at it, I saw, when I came back over, I saw the little flashing green light. I'm like, no. Who called? Feeling. My brother. Sorry about that. We'll try to get you on for next time. That is definitely my mistake. User error, I would call it, for sure. All right. Well, hey, just to see who's still hanging around here. Caleb, good morning. Great to see you. And great to see you, too. I love seeing you on here. Tobot, dude, we were all laughing, by the way, about what you were talking about. They're going to take your fish, too. It was just absolutely perfect. And then, Becky, great to see you. Yeah, you got all that stuff. That's all excellent stuff for that. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, I'll tell you what, you guys, it was great stuff. Mariano, oh my gosh, I still got to call Mariano because they are putting the finishing touches on what's going down in Garapan. Let's see if maybe we can't get an update tomorrow morning on that too, because I don't know if you guys have been to Garapan lately, but it's a lot brighter walking down the streets. It looks good. It's good. It might not be good for everybody, but it looks great down there. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Peeling, man, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I missed you on here. We'll get you next time. Joycey, thanks for tuning in early today. Eric, great to see you, my veteran brother. Mike Cruz in the house. Great to see you as well. Holy cow. Schneider Lanzo, great to see you. Thanks for tuning in this morning and joining us today. Luisa Cabrera says, hey, Bassa playoffs continue tonight at Capitol Hill Field. Oh my God, Palau Amateur Softball Association playing under the lights. You can hear it. You don't want to miss it. And yes, they did, in fact, get the 17-year-old who made that bomb threat. They got him in custody. The message that we got from DPS this morning is that now they're just going to figure out what they're going to do with him. Are they going to bring what kind of charges? That's at the Attorney General's office too, so they're going to figure out all that stuff. But in the meantime, at least they know who did it and what happened, and that everything was good and nothing bad happened, so that was great. I would like your help, CNMI, because I want to tell a story about the late George Narita. I'll tell you what, if you don't know him, or if you didn't get the chance to know him, he was a George Narita Camacho, sorry. He was such a great dude. And, he ran for office and won here, and he did a lot in the community. But what I loved is that he started bringing some baseball back when we didn't have a Saipan Little League anymore. And it's great. The Natibu Sports Association really got Little League started, about a year ago or so. And the Saipan Little League Baseball is, the thing now. We have our charter back and everything, but before that happened, it was the folks from the Natibu Sports Association who got it going. And we lost George in December. And is this not the coolest thing, though, that the Natibu Sports Association, they they ended up managing 3 of the Little League clubs, the Braves, through Natibu Sports Association President Ian Narita. The Braves, they've been up there on the north side ever since I've been here, so they've been here way before I got here too. They dedicated their season to George, and they won the championship for all 3 divisions: the majors, the juniors, and the seniors. It's a beautiful story. I mean, like that, it's like a movie. In the first season after he passes away, they dedicate the season to him, and their teams win all 3 divisions. That's great stuff. I know that somewhere out there, looking down on us, George Norita Camacho has a big smile on his face. You know his big smile. You know, the little lean back and everything. Seeing all those players win it for the North Side. Well, anyway, I'd love your help, Marianas. If you've got a story, maybe you played baseball with them, maybe you're touched, maybe you were part of the NSA. Let us know. Let us know your story. Please share it to us. You can message us here on the on the messenger. You can send it on WhatsApp at the 789-2323. We want to put something together, a little compilation of all these stories, because what a way to end those seasons, huh? That was great. That was just great. I want to say thanks to Vincent Camacho Jr. For reaching out. I haven't heard from him in a while, so it was great. But for keeping us up to date and everything, and just awesome. Just a great story. All right, folks. Well, that is what we've got for you for today. All the stuff that we've got, anything else can wait till tomorrow's show. We're going to be meeting up with some folks from the Crime Stoppers program this afternoon. And we're going to be checking out the folks from the ship later as well. They're going to be doing, in fact, in about 45 minutes, they're going to be doing a Comrel program, the community relations. They're going to be doing some more cleanups around Saipan. Tonight, if you guys want to go, you do not have to be a member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars here in Saipan or anywhere else. But tonight at the VFW post at 6 o'clock, we're going to be hosting a welcome reception with the VFW, Saipan Chamber of Commerce as well. We're going to be doing a plaque exchange. But you are welcome to join. The captain, the officers from the ship, a bunch of the sailors going to be coming in to have a little welcome reception. They're only going to be here. They're going to be taking off tomorrow. So we're going to be giving them a little appreciation event tonight. And so you are welcome to join and to attend. And we'd love to see you over there. It's going to be at 6 o'clock over at the VFW in Garapan tonight. But that's going to be our show for today. That is definitely going to be our show for today. So I want to say thanks to you guys for tuning in, for watching today. And thanks for our guests for being here. Thanks to Becky Wiggins. Thanks to France Torres. And thanks to Landon Aylett for all being on there. And apologies for peeling. Man, I did not see the phone ringing. And I had the ringer turned off. I had it turned off since it's terrible. Since I was at the court for those ladies yesterday. I know, I had the ringer turned off and I haven't turned it back on. All right, that's what we got for you for today. We'll be back again tomorrow at 7:30. So rise and shine and do all that fun stuff, and we'll see you guys later. Have a great day, Marianas. It's halfway through the week. You're doing it. You're killing it. It's going to be a great week. You're going to have a great day. And hopefully we'll see you tonight over there at the VFW. You guys take care. Louisa says, hey, Brad, is that like, hey, you got something to put in here real quick before we go? That's what it sounds like to me, so I don't want to go yet. What do you got? What do you got? Type faster. Get those thumbs in gear. All right, just what's at me. Just what's at me. All right, we'll see you in just a little bit. Take care.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical-grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician, who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.